They're the Hollywood splits we never saw coming, or did we? Tonight's Insider Roundtable is discussing the who and the why of the most shocking breakups of 2016. Joining me now is Variety's TV writer and reporter Elizabeth Wagmeister and legal analyst for Avo, trial attorney of the Bloom firm, Lisa Bloom. All right, let's start with the couple that marked the end of an era. We're, of course, talking about Brangelina.
Now to the breakup that a lot of people are talking about.
And I hope everyone at home and everyone here is with a loved one tonight. That's right, no more Brangelina.
When news broke on September 20th that they were ending their 2-year marriage and 10-year relationship, Angelina's rep said it was, quote, for the health of the family. So, Elizabeth, what was the catalyst here?
So here's the thing with Brangelina. I personally was shocked when I heard this. I remember our whole newsroom went, what? How is this happening?
Right.
But the thing is, sources said that this was actually a long time coming. Now, the catalyst was what we think. On September 14th, Brad was on a plane with his 14-year-old son, Maddox. They were coming back from France on a private plane going to Los Angeles, and apparently, allegedly, there was a physical altercation. Now, Brad, of course, denied this right away, but, you know, Child Protective Services looked into it, and the FBI even investigated.
Right.
Now, at the end, you know, no charges, he was cleared, but the fact of the matter is they were separated the day after that incident, and 5 days later, Angelina filed for divorce.
Yeah, so no charges, but yet still we have the makings of a very bitter custody battle. So just how messy is this, Lisa?
Well, I wasn't surprised because we do a lot of high-profile divorces, but I was surprised that Angelina made a very bold move because she asked for sole physical custody of the children. The kids should be mine, and he can only see them with monitor present. I mean, that's a bold thing to do. Now, he, of course, then counterfiled and said, no, I think we should have joint legal and physical custody. In other words, we share time with the kids, and we share the decision-making process.
So what does that say about their relationship?
Well, it says that in her view, he is not a fit parent.
Okay.
That as a father, he can't be left alone with the children. And they entered into a temporary settlement agreement, which provides that she does have sole legal and physical custody. He has monitored time with the kids, and I assume that over time the monitor is going to report back to the court, and eventually, if he does well, he'll have the joint custody that he wants.
Here's the thing, the timing could not have been worse. Brad was supposed to be out promoting his World War II drama, Allied, which had a ton of Oscar buzz going in, by the way. He was supposed to be nominated for an Oscar. How has this affected their careers?
Well, Variety did put out a report that is titled something like, is the tabloid drama hurting Allied at the box office?
Well, he couldn't promote it.
Exactly. So he was at the LA premiere, which was in November. There was no carpet, which is very odd for reporters.
I was there, I know.
Right. The whole point of going to a premiere is to interview them. So it was a screening, it was a Q&A, no access to either stars, and that's, of course, because they wanted to protect them.
Scale of 1 to 10, how much is your hand hurt right now from signing all those autographs?
No, it's really sweet. Everyone's been very kind out here, and it's really nice to have the support.
That's great.
You cannot ask anything about their personal lives, and of course, there were a lot of rumors right after this whole separation that Brad Pitt was having an affair on set with his co-star Mariah. Now, she denied this right away, and also that was very telling that she put out a statement herself, not her rep, though. That's telling.
Leave me out of it.
Right, exactly.
By the way, I did the press junket for Allied, which of course Brad did not participate in, and you could not ask Marianne any questions about Brad that did not have to do with the movie. All right, so how about Angelina? Is she suffering too?
So right now her priority is the kids. She is being, you know, a mother. She's standing by those 6 children.
And this is going to help her in the custody fight, right? The more time you spend with the kids, if you're making career sacrifices for the benefit of the children, that looks very good in the family law.
Yes, it does. All right, let's move on to the biggest reality check breakup. We're, of course, talking about Mariah Carey and billionaire from Australia, James Packer.
We have great moments together.
Cheers to this. Cheers.
I think he's fantastic, and we're planning a wedding, and it's coming up soon.
So what happened here? A lot of people think that the reality show for E!, the E! docuseries, Mariah's World, was the beginning of the end of this engagement. What do you think?
It's like the reality show curse. But, you know, I don't think it was just the reality show, but there were a lot of reports that James Packer did not like that she was spending a lot, that she got obsessed with reality TV. I say, if you don't like that, don't get into a relationship with Mariah Carey.
Especially Mariah Carey.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know how this is a surprise to anyone.
I mean, she's not subtle.
No, she's not.
Not.
Now, another thing that James Packer was allegedly upset about is that she was getting very close with her 33-year-old backup dancer, Brian Tanaka.
Yes.
So these are your new guys, Michael, Silas, you know Tanaka.
Never heard of him.
And at the time, you know, Nothing said about it, but fast forward to now, present day, they're making out on the beach.
Oh, boy.
I know, but she's got an E docuseries on the air right now. So how real is this relationship? Or is this relationship just for the cameras and just for our entertainment?
Well, I do have to say, I interviewed Mariah for her show, and she is great. She totally owns who she is. No, I can't say if it's for the cameras or not. She was very real when I spoke to her.
Mariah and James never make it down the aisle, but reportedly seeking a $50 million inconvenience fee. Lisa, please break this down for me.
This is my favorite legal story of the year. So let's be clear, there is no such thing legally as an inconvenience fee. And if anybody wants to inconvenience me for $50 million, they are most welcome to do that.
I'll do it for 10.
Right? No problem. I think what this is about is she's making a claim that he promised her money, she moved with her kids, etc., and therefore she's entitled to something. That's a very difficult claim to prove in court. But the bottom line is, if they have some kind of agreement, they want to work this out behind the scenes, they can reach a private agreement on that if they want to.
All right, let's get to the most disturbing breakup. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, who announced an end to their tumultuous 15-month relationship, marriage in May. So take me back to that day, May 27th, when Amber shows up to court with what would look like bruises on her face.
Did Johnny brutalize you?
Stop. You guys, she showed a lot of courage today.
Yeah, so I think she really shocked the world just about 4 or 5 days after filing. There she is in court, and she's asking for a temporary restraining order. And she made the allegation that she had been emotionally and physically abused. And she got an order that Johnny Depp had to stay 100 feet away from her, and he couldn't contact her.
So it's important to note that Depp has consistently denied any allegations of domestic abuse, any wrongdoing, but this was not your traditional couple, was it, Elizabeth?
No, I mean, for starters, there's a 23-year age difference between them. So Johnny Depp is 53, Amber Heard is 30. So for starters, I think that shocked people when they got together. Another thing is, a lot of people did not know who Amber Heard was. I think that the split maybe wasn't the thing that was so surprising. It was the allegations of the abuse.
Right, and this had all the makings for this long, drawn-out court battle, but that's not exactly what happened, is it, Lisa?
Right. So there's the court of law and there's the court of public opinion. And celebrities have a big motivation to settle these things quickly so it doesn't drag down their reputation.
Right.
And it ended with Johnny Depp paying $7 million to Amber Heard. And she said she's going to donate all the money to charity. She even named the 2 charities, the American Civil Liberties Union and Children's Hospital. I don't know if those payments have been made to date. So we'll have to keep an eye on this.
What about that Facebook video that she put out over the Thanksgiving holiday?
When it happens in your home behind closed doors with someone you love, just as a woman having gone through this in the public stage, in the public arena that I did it, and I have a unique opportunity to remind other women not only that this doesn't have to be the way it is. You're not alone.
What do you make of that?
You know, I see a new approach to domestic violence and rape cases in the cases that I handle and the way that Amber Heard handled it, which is women do not want to be silenced. They might take a chunk of money, just like it's always happened, but she still is speaking out about domestic violence. And apparently whatever agreement that she had with Johnny Depp allows her to do that because she's doing it.
All right, let's move on to the double take breakup. Of course, we're talking about Taylor Swift, who broke up not once, but twice. Okay, so break this down. What happened?
You said 2 big, very high-profile relationships this year. So in June, this past summer, she broke up with Calvin Harris. Now, they had been together for 15 months, and that's a long relationship for Taylor. And I think fans like myself were very happy to see her.
I thought that was going to stick.
I did too, and it seemed like a very normal relationship. Well, they broke up. It seemed like a normal breakup too. It was a mutual decision, so we thought. Well, fast forward 2 weeks, Tom Hiddleston, and then there was a photo of them cuddling on the beach, which to me I thought was a photo shoot. I saw it and I said, no way is this real.
Right.
They are filming a music video. They're shooting something together. Well, they weren't.
Yeah. Cut to the 4th of July party, and they were all up in each other's business.
Yeah, and he was even wearing a shirt that said, I heart, an actual heart, TS. And when I saw that, I said, come on, this has got to be a PR stunt. But he said, this is not a PR stunt. We're in a real relationship. They moved really, really fast, and then they ended really quickly, too.
It was 4 months, right?
Right.
By Labor Day, it was
right,
done.
it was done. One and done.
Ability to shake it off.
Oh, my goodness, but she has all the makings for a great new album.
It's going to be a great album. So I think, though, that Taylor Swift should really focus on herself, her music. She doesn't need a man. She has her squad, right? She
has her squad, a very powerful squad, I'll say. So much heartbreak in 2016. Thank you for joining us, ladies. Let's hope 2017 is filled with so much more love, right?
Absolutely.
Hope so.